And so in this video, I'm going to talk about chapter 4 and 5 together because I think that it's important to kind of understand them together. And there's some pretty good examples that the book describes. And so all that, or not everything that you need to know, but most of the things that it is trying to get across in the point of these two chapters is that you need to be able to use technology to interact with your customer and interact with your fans. And so this kind of gives you a pretty good description of no matter what you're doing, find ways to make it a little bit more personable. And so Shaquille O'Neal, I'm going to kind of skip ahead to Shaquille O'Neal, and then I'll come back to the first part. But I really like this because it really gives some solid examples of how Shaquille O'Neal was able to provide very tangible ways to interact and to make his Twitter authentic in an age when Twitter wasn't so authentic. And so, for instance, he left tickets at will call under the name of Twitter and posted on his feed, so first fans to arrive, would get the opportunity to get the tickets. And so I think what we should all learn from Shaquille O'Neal in this is that if you can create an opportunity for people to be engaged at a specific time and moment, then it becomes unique, kind of like the experience of sport. And why people are so addicted to sport is because you never know what you're going to get. And so you want to be on his Twitter page because you want to know what is he going to say. And this goes for YouTube and Facebook. And so just kind of understanding how this can be a unique branding process. It goes through and it talks about platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, allows for brands to have conversation and interact in real time in very quick turnaround. So something can happen at 4 p.m. and by 5 p.m. they're addressing it, or even 4:02 addressing it on social media and letting people know what's going on. And so finding ways to be more intimate with their brand experience is what you can do in the digital age, because now there is no middle person that you can directly engage and interact and know what your favorite sports star is doing on a daily basis, depending on what they upload. And brands would need to be mindful of what they're uploading in order to kind of facilitate that relationship. So I also really like how Texas A&M Aggie Football Life, that's highlighted in this chapter, talks about how Texas A&M was kind of able to rebrand their program through digital and online media. And so basically they made an app, and the app did a lot of things. Some of the things I thought was pretty strategic was having an opportunity for parents and recruits to learn more about the program. It also looks like they had sessions aimed to prepare student athletes to make a positive impact through social media. I think that there might be, other opportunities that I think they could offer that would really kind of make their program unique, or at least educate recruits and parents and even current athletes of all the services that they have available to them. So for instance, if they wanted to make an appointment with an athletic trainer, they could have the athletic training hours and then maybe the specific athletic trainer, and be able to schedule their treatments a lot more efficiently. Maybe they already have something like that, but I could just see how this would really kind of help streamline their program. It also could be a great opportunity for them to put their whole handbook of policies and things to know as a student athlete there for athletes to be able to view. And so this is probably one of my favorite chapters in the entire book. And so what makes this most exciting is that music, in my opinion, is what transforms your thought processes and your emotions, and it makes you want to either have a feeling or move. And so I think we're going to see more and more of branding through music, and also opportunities for more branding within the entertainment of the game. And so here's an example that was used in the book: is the Pittsburgh Steelers football capitalized on the concepts and adopted the song of Black and Yellow by the rapper, I'm not so sure about the rapper name. And so, what there's two approaches to this. One is that you can contact someone that writes music and say, hey, can you write music for my brand? And we're going to watch a short little video about how that happens. I'm going to show you in class. You also can, in this case, like they did, find a song that really displays who you are and then use it. And I think traditionally that's what's been done in the past. But this is, I guess, more a stronger approach is to contact someone and then get them to write the song specifically for your brand. And so let's see. And so it looks like Nike spent $500,000 in licensing fees just to play one of the Beatles songs for their new marketing campaign. I know that Subway has a jingle for the $5 footlong that they paid quite a bit of money for. I know that's not sport, but it's very similar in the regard of advertising with music or through music. You also have other universities that have specific songs tailored to their university. And so, I guess the takeaway from this chapter, what you would want to know and what you would want to be able to use in your future profession is the ability to use music when appropriate to demonstrate either yourself as a brand or your program as a brand, and also, quite honestly, to have fun with the brand. I think that that's also important. And so, let's see. Researchers demonstrate that the use of music to convey messages in abstract fashion frame perceptions in advertising and prime desired beliefs about a brand. Music is thought to be the most commonly studied variable in consumer research, and so it's definitely something that we're learning more about. And so music also adds to the atmosphere, and when people are in the mood and excited, they're more likely to purchase and engage and, spend more money, which is generally speaking what we're trying to get them to do if they're at an event. And so the atmosphere that you create is definitely important for your event, if it's a one-time event or if it's, of course, something that people go to frequently, like a football game. And so what we know is that music is a very important part of branding and in-game experience. It shapes the way that they experience the event, their attitude towards the event, their purchase intentions, and their intentions to revisit. And so I would encourage you next time that you're having fun at an event, for instance, like Splash Kingdom or the mall, or I'm sure you've been in Hollister's or Abercrombie, there's a certain atmosphere that's created. One thing that this book doesn't touch on is also smell. I think when you add smell to music, then I think that's a complete package. And I think of that because Abercrombie and Hollister do that in their consumer branding process. And so, of course, if you're at a baseball stadium, it's going to have a certain smell. I think if you walk into a football stadium, it'll have a smell. And that smell is very much a part of going to the game or being at the game. And so, of course, that can happen naturally, or you can make it happen, just like the atmosphere can happen naturally, or you can make it happen. And so, whatever you're involved in, I would encourage you to assess the atmosphere and the way that you're contributing to it in a positive way, and what can you do to increase the atmosphere. And in this case, it would be through trying to add music. I would also encourage you to figure out beforehand what type of experience you're trying to create, and then using that with music would be important. So whether you have music that have words or music that don't have words, it would also be a matter of getting the rights to be able to play that music for that event. So I think that is it for chapter 4 and 5. I tried to do it together. I know it's really short. And so I would encourage you to think of ways that you can use this information in your future career, and also what your current opinion is of the idea of branding digitally and or branding with or through music. And so we'll go over more examples and have more opportunities for that discussion in class as well.